Every time I see somebody who can't make a good offer, who can't write a good ad, who can't close clients, it is always not always, 9.9 times out of 10, it is almost always because they haven't identified a very specific person.
Was hoping maybe you could speak to helping me just narrow it down, how to get started, like what should I offer? I don't really know what niche even. I was thinking maybe med spas and things like that, but just my ADHD brain just wants to go in 50 million directions, but I know I need to focus, hyper focus almost. And
Yeah.
I'm kind of to the point where I don't have the mentorship anymore. And so I'm starting to feel the overwhelm, kick in. And, I'm looking at my bank account and signing up for these subscriptions and that kind of thing. So
You've got a couple of different things going on. I think here's what I would say to you. Number one is have a self-assessment. Okay. But just meaning when I first started running an agency, I knew I could sell. I knew I could talk to people. I knew that was not going to be an issue for me. And so I started selling people. I quickly realized that I wasn't that technical, right?
mm-hmm.
And I had actually bought a course on how to build funnels. And, they teach you that funnels are the best thing and that all you need is a funnel, yada, yada, yada. You quickly come to realize that, hey, man, I am spending a gross portion of my time on these tools where my strength should be allocated over here talking and getting people. So right. I quickly realized a deficit there, found my now partner, Jacob, 8 years ago. And that was like backfilling the delivery. I was like, okay, cool. So that is a thing I commonly encourage people to do is if you are lacking in a certain area, don't try and acquire it. Try and hire it and partner really at the early stages. Finding a good partner is absolutely a good idea. So that's number one.
How did you find your partner, by the way? Just
the guy that I bought the funnels course from, I'm like, hey man, this is really more technical than I thought it was going to be. Do you know anybody that boom can run the ads for me? That was I said, do you know anybody that can run the ads for me? And he said, this guy named Jacob, he's very technical. He's run my ads. And that was how I found him. But I mean, there's people in the Facebook group that are really technical. There's people in the Facebook group that are really salesy. There's people that are very operation minded. My partnership today right now has me, who's the sales guy, Jacob, who is like a very technical builder guy, and then Bradley, who's very operationally minded. Right. And so the three of us can pretty much tackle any issue. So one thing is just look at the reality of your dynamic. Okay. The second thing is all of these questions that you're asking become way more clear when you have a very niche prospect in mind. So if you were to say, I want to go after med spas, that's your category. And then you could start dialing down deeper to the subcategory, right? As maybe you've seen some of my videos where I talk about this. Every time I see somebody who can't make a good offer, who can't write a good ad, who can't close clients, it is always, not always, 9.9 times out of 10, it is almost always because they haven't identified a very specific person, a very unique person. Have you seen my video about how I learned how to sell?
I don't know if I've seen that one. What is it called? I'll check it out.
Yeah, the thumbnail says, I don't remember what the title of the video is, but the thumbnail says, give me 30 minutes and I'll work a sales miracle in your agency.
Okay.
I
might have, but I've watched over the last few months.
So
hundreds of videos. Okay.
Yeah, so go watch that video. It will tell you why finding a very specific person is so critical to your success. Once you find a specific person, all of those problems just become, and here's the other thing. What is confidence? Confidence is a recent memory of success. Okay. Success is also, if you give yourself a spectrum, success is on a spectrum. You can have like a little bit of success over here and then gradually get more over time. The more you build on top of like little micro wins, the better off you're going to be. And you don't have to be an expert when you start. You just have to be an enthusiast. Okay. And even when you talk to people, like you can say, I'm an enthusiast when it comes to helping people learn how to find more, like get more patients for their med spas. I really believe in this approach and whatever it is, right? And become an enthusiast around their business. If you start combining those things, like you build a team around you, or you find a team around you, you start doing some synergy things. I mean, that's where you're going to get anyway, by the way. Like you will get to the point where you're like, I think I might need some help here.
Yeah.
And you're going to get there anyway. So you may as well like, cut it off at the pass. I know very few people that have the right personality profile to go into this business all by themselves. Okay. Yeah. So that's number one. And then two, focus on your niche. And then all the other pieces are going to start falling into place. And then three, with your first 3 to 5 customers, just say hat in hand, we've got an awesome system, awesome things going on, but we need to get some, we need to get some proof. So would you be a trial customer for us? Here's what we'll do. Here's what we expect you to do. Boom. And start that way. Most people start that way, even if they don't tell you they do.
Yeah. Okay. Is there something that, like, say because I really am considering the med spas, I just think that I would really enjoy that. I love beauty anyway. So I think, it would be something I'd really just like to talk about with people. So what would that first offer look like, given the fact, given what I told you about the software that I'm going to be subscribing to and that sort of thing?
Yeah. What I would do is I would become an enthusiast of that particular industry.
Yeah.
Okay. And then here's a hack that's this is a get you 2 years ahead hack right now. Find the devices that those companies use. So they use Cool Sculpting.
Like Cool Sculpting.
Yeah.
And
but find the other ones, because everybody knows about Cool
Sculpting, because Cool Sculpting's had a lot of lawsuits and such recently.
Yeah. So True Sculpting, Cryo T-Shock. We have a Cryo T-Shock offer in the ads library that I personally created and I have used. It gets leads at like $10 a pop. So that one right there, you're already ahead. You already have one that you can use. But create a mini library on like those, like with instruments, devices at the head of it, because it's a different thing. If, let's say, you start doing the cold outreach method, video cold outreach, and you go to their website and you find out, oh, this person has a Cryo T-Shock. Here's the message. Hey, Sally, I noticed I went to your website and saw you have a Cryo T-Shock. I have an awesome system to get you more patients. Are you interested? That's all you got to do. And if you make it that's why going so specific is so important. If you make your outreach that specific, now they're like, first of all, this is not a bot. Second of all, this is very specific. I'm interested. Right. If it's like, hey, I help people get med spa patients, nobody is going to care, because everybody says that. You're gonna be like, well, why doesn't anybody want to talk to me? Because everybody else says what you're saying. You have zero intrigue. So go granular, go specific. And there's a lot of ways to research it. One of them is just asking them to know the devices that are gaining in popularity. Like, know those devices. And you can ask people or just Google research, whatever.
Right.
And then, make that your starting point. You'll have a lot more success.
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. That definitely helps me out. And one last quick question. So right now, I don't know a lot of people where I live. And so finding a partner, realistically, I don't know, but, having it white labeled instead of having a partner, at least at the beginning, is that something that you think would be okay?
I don't understand having it white labeled.
So like the tech's not my strong suit. Sorry.
Oh, like having having like HL Pro Tools handle that side of it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only problem is you're going to end up spending time. There's more to it. Like meaning you need a website. And by the way, you don't need some of these things just to get started. If you go to somebody, you're like, hey, I have these awesome ads that have this system. Here's what it does. I just need some people to test it out. You don't need to have a website, right? As long as you're hat in hand and you can get that person to ally with you, and you can definitely. Okay. But I have two partners. Jacob, my partner, I didn't meet him for probably like in person for probably like a year and a half into our relationship. My now partner, Bradley, I met him. He's been my partner for 3 years. I met him one time. And then Jacob and Bradley have never met in person.
Okay. Well, that
so it's a new age. It don't matter anymore, right? Yeah, you get to know somebody really well, just like this.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate all your videos. I've been watching them almost daily, and it's been helpful. So thank you.
Awesome. I'm really glad to hear it.